Welcome to the Potterblog site, February 7th, 2014. The Canadians lied about their H5N1 patient not having respiratory symptoms. Ahead of print today from the United States Centers for Disease Control came out this report which sets the record clear of what happened with this lady who came back from China. It says the patient initially sought care for respiratory symptoms. The probable cause of death was listed as meningoencephalitis. It says here clearly, she initially sought care for respiratory symptoms. And if we go look at the PDF that came along with this, we get a little bit more information. During the return flight, the individual experienced symptoms of malaise, chest pain, now pay attention to remember that one, chest pain and fever, and presented to the local emergency department. Now let's compare that to what was reported in Canadian news. Obviously these people got their information from the government. CTV News. So we'll scroll down. And it said the individual, let me zoom in here just a little bit just to make it absolutely clear to people. The individual started feeling unwell on the flight home and was later admitted to the hospital where her condition quickly deteriorated. The patient's initial symptoms included fever, malaise, and headache. There were no respiratory symptoms. So what they left out of this was that she had chest pain, and then they flat out lied that there were no respiratory symptoms. I'd say incredible, but it's not incredible. You know, over and over again, the Canadians reported that this woman did not have respiratory symptoms. It's clear that she did. It's prima facie evidence that the Canadian officials deliberately hid the fact she had chest pains and that she did have respiratory symptoms. So let me zoom up this a little bit. Oops. So, why did the Canadian officials lie? Obviously, and not surprisingly, they didn't think that their subjects could handle the truth. But more importantly, such deceptions are done to allow those who do know the facts to control and constrain a supply chain that might be heavily overtaxed and burdened by public reaction. The Canadian healthcare system likely decided it was cheaper to risk the lives of Canadian airline passengers than it was to pay for all those people running to their government-paid healthcare system for treatment. Now for us in the United States, now with Obamacare, expect no difference from our own government. The rule is clear. Never, ever, never accept your government's assurance of safety or lack of risk as the sole basis for not visiting a doctor if there is some chance you are exposed to a transmittable disease. Furthermore, don't let your doctor accept the government's assurances either. Make your doctor think for him or herself. Yeah, it's very reminiscent of what happened in the aftermath of the World Trade Towers coming down and the government assuring people that all that dust was safe. Well, now we know it's not. Now, it's safe to assume the Canadians initially thought that this was an H5N1 case and that to prevent rumors of an H5N1 case spreading around, her probable cause of death was listed as meningoencephalitis instead. And clearly, again, here it says in the CD report, the patient initially sought care for respiratory systems. However, the probable cause of death was listed as meningoencephalitis, an unusual outcome. We have source documents listed here. Be concerned.